Alright guys, next video. Today we're going to be doing spark plugs, coils, and the intake manifold gasket, or the plenum gasket, sorry, on the 2013 Cadillac SRX. And I'm not sure how difficult it's going to be, but I think it's a little bit more involved because of the gaskets have to be replaced, or should be replaced. But I'm gonna take you guys along with my process, which there isn't one because I've never done it before on this vehicle. But I will just learn as I go. So I'll take you guys along with that. I'm gonna go ahead and get you set up and go ahead and get started with it. All right, I got you guys set up, and there is not a great way to set you guys up. The vehicle is too high off the ground, and my tripod does not go as high as what you guys can see. So it's the best I can do. Bear with me. But first off, you have a Torx bolt here that we need to remove, and it's going to be a T30. And we're going to remove the oil cap. And then we'll just pull up the engine cover. And then we are going to close the oil fill cap. And so there's quite a lot we have to remove just to get to 3 of the spark plugs. On the front side, it's not that bad. There is 3 right here, pretty easily accessible. We just have to remove this whole assembly here. But so we are going to remove this, which this is all connected, and then we're gonna loosen up some of this stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that removed, and we'll get better access to the plenum, which is this part here we have to remove to get to the other 3. There's a bolt back here as well. Alright, so this is the I think this is just a like a dampener for the airbox to kind of like muffle some of the sound. But well, that was just a few bolts and then the hose that needed to be removed. And that gives us access to the 3 spark plugs in the front, and then this plenum that needs to be removed. But as you can see, there is quite a bit that has to be removed, like these hoses here. Looks like a vacuum hose, a MAF sensor, and it looks like this throttle body has to come off with this, but we will go ahead and just work our way through it and remove anything as necessary as we get to it. And this bolt here is a 13 mil. Actually, getting ahead of myself, I should probably try to remove these hoses first. So I'm gonna try to do that without breaking anything, which we all know that we are definitely going to break something. I know you guys can't see down here, but there is, for this hose right here, there is a press release right here. You just press under it and you're pushing from the bottom up. It just comes loose. We can push this back here. Right here is a 10 mil. And it looks, and this right here is a coolant line. And note that this one is shorter than this one. So the long one goes over here on this taller spout here, and the shorter one goes over here. We can probably unhook this from the coolant reservoir. That's this hose goes to this. So I'm gonna try to unhook this, and hopefully I don't spill too much coolant. Okay, we're gonna unplug this MAF sensor. And this hose looks like it turns out of a lock. So let's see if I can get this turned without breaking it. This looks like some type of PCV hose, and I had to unclip it from the bottom. It has some little spring tab there, and then it has like two little holders right here on both sides of this, and as you can see, it has two spots right here where it fits up under these two corners, and you have to turn it to release it. Looks like I have to unplug this hose as well. It looks like it goes to the brake booster. Alright, I cannot get that hose off, this hose back here. So we're just gonna skip it for now, and we are going to continue we're gonna continue taking off everything else around it, and maybe we'll save that hose for last. Okay, looks like we need to remove this electrical connection to right here, or this hose. No, not hose, but this wire room here. But it looks like it has a little press tab here, and then there's also another press tab here that we need to remove. Alright, just broke that. Okay. This press tab was really stuck in here. I might have another to replace it. So far, this is actually quite aggravating. Just to get to do the spark plugs, you have to basically remove the it feels like what feels like the top of the engine. All right, and this press tab definitely is stuck in here. I just broke the cage off, and the center part of it is still like wedged in here. And I know you guys can't see it, but let's see. So, what I'm trying to get out is this right here. There's like a little press tab, like what's on like body panels and like the wheel well liners. But this part is definitely not coming out. Alright. Finally pull the center of it out. That was definitely unnecessary, in my opinion. And let's see, what else? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and unplug the throttle body. It just has this little red tab, lock tab here. That hopefully does not break. Right. And so this hose that's right here, it's actually connected to the purge valve, and it looks like there's another press tab on it. So it looks like you press from the bottom up, and this hose looks like it'll pop right out. Alright, and that's that hose there. And that's the little press tab I was telling you about. You just press up from the bottom and bottom up. Okay, let's see what else. Feels like everything is holding this in. also a connector on the purge valve that needs to be removed. I'm sure there's a lock tab on it, but I cannot see it at all. Looks like there's a little red tab on the side of it. I definitely cannot see that or remove it. So, let's see. Well, I guess we will go ahead and start removing the bolts from the plenum, and we'll go from there. These are some really long bolts. Alright, that's all 6 bolts. And we're gonna see what else is holding this on. So I'm sure there is definitely something. Another retainer for the wire harness. This wire loom on this plenum. There's also a little shroud down here. It's also a little shroud right here where that retainer that broke right here. There's another bolt holding that shroud on right down here. I'm not sure what else is holding this plenum on. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. Alright, I ended up having to, I did find a way to remove this connector down here, and I can't really see it from here, but that was for the purge solenoid. I do need to remove this hose still, and I have to remove this bracket. There's a bolt holding this bracket on, and it should release. I think that would be the last couple things that's holding this on. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this bracket here where this bolt is, and then get this hose off. Alright, I got this hose off, and that bracket that's back here now. Got this off, and now I got the intake manifold loose, and this was actually still kind of like stuck on. I had to wiggle it kind of a lot. It felt like there was bolts still in it, but it eventually broke free. So now we're gonna go ahead and remove it. And that is the intake manifold. So what we do need to do is we have to replace this gasket right here. There's a gasket down here, this brown thing. So the gasket kit I got also came with the gaskets that go between this intake plenum and this I guess spacer, if you want to call it that. So we're going to remove these bolts that are on here, and also replace the gaskets that are between this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, get you set up to so I can show you how I remove this part here. Also, and another thing, I'm going to cover up these ports while I put those gaskets in. All right, so I got you set up for. I got you set up so I can take this apart. I'm just gonna clean this oil off of this spacer here. And we're gonna go ahead and try to take this apart. This is also a T25 torques. Right. It's probably gonna be a little stuck on here. And it is. All right. So that was a little stuck on. This is also dirty on the other side, so I'm gonna clean this up. I'm also gonna try to clean this surface up a bit with the razor. Okay. These are the gaskets that are in here that I am going to replace. They actually feel kind of fine. Some of them have like low spots, but this is the gasket kit I got. It came with that brown gasket, which is this one, and it also came with these square ones that go in place of these that go here. So you get a pick and start taking these out. All right, that's all 6, and then we're gonna put these newer ones in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean the inside of this out a little bit. And these should just press right in place. And these definitely were worn, because the difference between these two, I mean, it still got flexibility, but like this one is definitely more pronounced on this surface versus this one. While I have this off, I'm going to clean this throttle body up a bit. So I cleaned what I could of that. I just hand cleaned it. Like I said, I did it before. And now I'm going to clean off this surface of this as much as I can. I got it cleaned off. It's still, it looks like it's like not clean, but it's just this color right there. But it is smooth. I can't say that much. But we're gonna go ahead and put this back on, and I'm not sure if it matters which orientation it's in, but hopefully it only goes one way. If it goes more than one way, then I'll just go back and look at the video and see which way it came off. All right, I figured out which way it came off. This green dot was towards the throttle body, so I already got that back on in place. I just have to put these bolts back in it, and then we'll go back to the car and change the other gasket. So I'll pause you, go ahead and get this back together, and back at the car. All right, we're back at the car, and so we are going to remove this gasket and put the new one there, cover back up, and do the spark plugs and coils. And this looks like there is some type of I actually need to vacuum this up. I'll be back. I need to go get a vacuum and vacuum this up before anything falls in the engine. All right, got it vacuumed out, and we're gonna finish removing this gasket. I don't know if there's anything holding it in, but because it doesn't look like anything is on this gasket. But anyway, I'm gonna clean this stuff up and put the new gasket on. This is the way I pulled it off. So if it is directional, I don't know, but there is a part number and stuff right here, and I know that it came off right here. All right, here is the new gasket, and this doesn't have any writing or part number on this one. So I'm just going to look at the other gasket and see if there's any differences other than that. I do know that these knobs, nipples, whatever you want to call it, need to face upward. All right, so there is no differences between the two. So you can have it facing this way, or you can flip it or turn it around 180 and it still work. But there are two locating tabs on the back side, here and here, and that would just fall into place like so. So that is that's all there is to that gasket. So I'm gonna cover it back up, and we are going to start working on these coils, spark plugs. Okay, let's take out the connector. They are in there pretty tough. I'm sure we will at least break probably, I bet we'll probably break at least 3 of them, which would be half. Got those disconnected, and I'm going to finish taking out the coil. these coils look like they are perfectly fine. I am going to add this to the used pal. I will not get rid of these because they were working when replaced. This is just pre-maintenance, but they all look pretty good. Alright, and those three also look good. Alright, next let's take the spark plugs out. Alright, so that is the first spark plug. Looks like normal wear. Looks like, I mean, it looks like they may still have some life in them. But and the next two look the same exact way. So let's go ahead and put the next three spark plugs in, and so you don't have to worry about anything falling into the cylinders. And these are the factory spark plugs, 41-109. And these are supposed to be pre-gapped to 43 thousandths, and I checked all of them, and all of them were 43 thousandths, except one of them was a little bit, I think it was a little bit under, but I corrected it and made it 43 thousandths as well. Alright, and let's take the back set out. Alright, that's one of the back ones, the first back one, and looks just like the other ones. Same. And the same. Alright, now to put the coils in. This is the part number right here, and it is 12632479. I'm going to put some dielectric grease in them. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause you, put the dielectric grease in these, and go ahead and bolt them back up, put the connector back in, and then I'll bring you back for the reassembling of everything else. Alright, so I have all of the coils back in, bolted down, connectors back in. Now we're going to move on to putting the intake back on. Alright, I'm going to remove this. Now we're going to make sure we put this down properly. I think that is on. I don't know. I feel like it's getting caught on something. And I'm not going to tighten these all the way down because there is a specific order that we have to tighten these down in. I'm just going to get them snugged up for now. Alright, so the order that we have to tighten it down in is here, 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 and then here. Alright, so we got that down, and so here comes the confusing part of putting everything back in place. I'm just gonna probably do a time lapse of putting all this back because I'm gonna have to try to remember where I put it, where everything came from. But I'll do the best I can, I guess. So I got button back up, cleaned it up a bit. It's not perfect, but it looks better than it did. We are going to start it up, and hopefully I plugged everything back up. There's no issues, and hopefully all is well. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it up and see what happens. All right, so everything looks good. All right, so everything looks to be working fine, and overall the job was aggravating at first, but I guess after I got in the mood of actually making a repair, it got a little bit better, but it is definitely a lot more involved than the V Sport, but I would probably rate this job a 5 out of 10 on the, as far as like it being user friendly, or how difficult it is. As far as all the other stuff, the gaskets and everything, I would say that's probably a part of the difficulty, and all of the routing of the hoses and what all you have to take apart to actually get to those 3 spark plugs. But yeah, I'm glad I got it done with no issues that I can see so far. But yeah, hopefully this video could help somebody with doing the spark plugs on the SRX. So the next thing as far as this car goes, there is going to be a tune from Trifecta put on it. I probably won't make a video on that because it's not that spectacular, but it's something better than what it was, and I've already had a video on how to do the tune for it. As far as installing it, it's going to be the same, but yeah, that's the main reason I did a spark plugs is because I was going to tune it. So I wanted to give the engine its best chance it can as far as the longevity go, and add in extra horsepower to the engine. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.